Welcome back to Mike's Monsters, the channel where I celebrate my love for movie monsters, pop culture, and more, with photography tips and tricks featuring my collection of toys. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I find the mood and inspiration to create these colorful and vibrant images in my toy photography. Along with some behind-the-scenes clips of some of the recent images I've created. There are many ways to find inspiration, but I find mine from a few simple sources. Life, and all the adventures it brings along with it. Music and its transformative energy. Movies and anime for their visual innovation and their ability to take us to places we've never been before. My family raised me in music. With my dad being in rock and roll bands, they always had a constant presence in my life. I was always around live music. I was also a live music photographer at one point in my life. I grew up with music constantly playing around me, with my mom playing records at all hours of the day, to my dad's bands rehearsing or playing music in my backyard for a crowd of many. It was always around. Because of these influences, music has a constant presence in my life daily, especially during my creative time. I've always gravitated towards the fantastical worlds and stories of sci-fi films, but it's never just set to one genre for me. Here are just a few of my favorites. Movies are eventually what led me down the path to picking up a camera. I'm primarily going to be speaking about monsters and creepy crawlies here, but my inspiration doesn't just apply to those. I work professionally as a portrait photographer, and all the same principles I talk about here in this video have been applied to my portrait work. It takes time to find a voice and style of your own. I should know, I've been doing this for about 16 years now. Just be patient with yourself, and eventually you'll find something that's your own. All great things take time to make. Never give up, never stop practicing, and you will always get better. I might work with people now, but I started out taking monster portraits. I wanted to make my highly detailed alien and predator figures look like they were from the movies that I adored so much. I watched Alien and Aliens a lot growing up, which had a lot of visual influence on my style. The way the xenomorph creature was lit in shadow, especially in the first movie, was what made it overall more frightening and scary, I think. And I feel like a lot of that effect is lost in today's movies, but I won't get into that now, and maybe I'll ramble on that subject in a whole nother video. I feel like the dark and wet, moody, and atmospheric vibe of the movie is what really helped make it scary, and the xenomorph creature was just elevated by all of that. I pay tribute with my NECA Toys quarter scale big chap xenomorph, which rolls right off the tongue. The only light source here is my apartment window at sunset, and a spray bottle filled with water to add atmosphere to the shot. You do not always need elaborate studio setups, lighting gear, or anything crazy. This is just my apartment light and my camera with a spray bottle. And in this light, I couldn't help but add some franchises to the mix. After the sun goes down and the light gets softer, I go for a little bit of a different vibe. My NECA Toys Alien Queen from Alien Resurrection. I start out with the intention of a lighting palette similar to Aliens, cold and blue. The pose of the subject can really help the mood of the shot, and it can also take a little while to get there. Here I feel like she starts off kind of giving a little bit of a hey, and then transitions a little bit into a Drake meme, which I'm not super into. And eventually, she kind of looks more like that queen that would be kind of chasing you down the halls when like you're trying to get off the planet, and then like you're trying to like get to your dropship, and then there's like stuff falling down around you, and the whole place is on fire, and then you're like, "Where's the dropship? Come on, like I'm trying to get away from this alien thing," and then the robots are always screwing you over, and you're trying to get off this planet, and all of a sudden the dropship shows up, and then you can fly off and nuke the planet. Anyways, hi. Pictures. This is the queen. We're back. Nothing happened. Welcome to photography. Have some pretty colors. Earlier I showed that Drive is one of my favorite movies. Ever since seeing the film, I've always wanted an alien movie shot in a very similar style. The cinematography in that movie is something that I adore. The color, the vibe, I don't know how to say it, but it's fantastic. I would love an alien movie shot like that. Combine that visual aesthetic with Blade Runner, and I think you could have something very, very cool with Alien that we've never seen before. So I thought I'd take it upon myself to maybe find some inspiration from that and make my own. A neon-colored, vibrant alien queen walking down a city block. I put her next to my toy collection to make it seem like she's walking in a city full of neon lights. Thought it was kind of cool. And then I thought, what if she was bigger than a normal-sized queen? What if she was a kaiju-sized queen, and she fought the king? Who else would watch Aliens vs. Godzilla? I know I would be first in line for that movie. I pull a lot of inspiration from my favorite movies, and sometimes I like to recreate the shots right from them. Like this shot from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, with this epic NECA Toys Shredder from the 1990 movie. Or this shot from Kong Skull Island, while Kong takes in the northern lights and relaxes. I use my projector here to set the scene of Kong taking in these northern lights under the starry sky. I mentioned anime earlier. Here I'm referencing Dragon Ball Super Broly, using my phone and a few party lights to set the mood. I found a lot of inspiration in the production of The Mandalorian. The way they film it is very, very cool. And so I made this one of Baby Yoda using my environment with my Christmas tree in the background. If there was anything that was watched more than the others though, it had to be the Godzilla franchise. And that was likely by like a million, a bajillion, probably a bajillion and a half hours because I was obsessed. There was always a Godzilla movie playing every other day. If it wasn't Ninja Turtles or Jurassic Park, it was definitely Godzilla. And when the 98 Godzilla movie came out, and even more Godzilla movies started to import from Japan, I was also really getting to anime. And that's when Dragon Ball Z came into my life and changed it all forever. I wanted to see my subjects in the energy that you would see wrapped around the characters in DBZ. I think I eventually found out how to do this, and you can see that in my previous videos. Using all these influences I've mentioned before, and constantly shooting and practicing, it eventually led me down the path to finding my visual style. Let's get back to Godzilla. The King of the Monsters is one of the hard ones to photograph because you have to make these skyscraper-sized beasts look huge when they're only a small action figure. So how do you do that? The same way they make the darn movies, of course. Jeez! Using the right props, backdrops, cameras, and lighting, you can make something very similar to the classic monster movies. An easy way to get a backdrop is to use a television or a projector, laptop screens also work, and putting an image of your choice on the backdrop. You can also build simple dioramas in your scene. It helps if you surround your figure with miniature props like trees and buildings. You can find those at your local hobby shop. In the end, it overall makes the toy look more lifelike and real. I get all my buildings from iPop Designs, an eBay seller that makes the best buildings around. If you want to make your kaiju photography the best it can be, you'll want to check him out. I've got him linked below. In the anticipation for the buildup of a release to a trailer for a tiny little movie called Godzilla vs. Kong, I thought it would be fun to use some photography techniques I haven't tried out in a while. Long exposure and forced perspective. Forced perspective is the photography technique that makes objects that are bigger or smaller look the opposite size by how far they are placed from the camera. You may have seen this filming technique used on the hobbits in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, especially during the dinner scenes. It's all camera tricks, no Photoshop. Here I'm using a 6-inch tall NECA Toys Godzilla and a 12-inch tall Kong from X Plus Star Aces. I had heard rumors that there was going to be a neon lit battle somewhere in the movie, so I took that as inspiration to show the two standing off in vibrant and colorful explosions. I wanted to use long exposure photography to get crazy colorful light streak effects. That happens when the camera's shutter opens and closes slowly. So by dragging these lights around the scene, it should give me a really crazy streaking effect in the final product. And I do the same thing from another angle, this time showing Kong get ready to throw down some of his monkey rage. Shortly after creating these crazy neon kaiju dance scenes, the poster for Godzilla vs. Kong came out, and I thought it would be fun to pull inspiration directly from the source and recreate the poster. I'm using the NECA Toys King Kong figure and the 2019 Atomic Blast Godzilla. The table I'm using has a glass mirror top on it, which gives the perfect illusion of water. I also used clear plastic wrap and punched Godzilla's spines through them to give the illusion of moving water. Add some twinkle lights to bring the city to life. And some atmosphere aerosol, and you get an image of Godzilla torpedo launching himself at the big old monkey standing in the city, ready to smack down. And I think I did a pretty darn good recreation if I don't say so myself. Shortly after the poster came out, we finally got our first look at the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong, and it was worth it. I think many of us had an emotional experience, I would say, and I think some of us are even more excited than we thought we could be. I'm one of those. But it looks like with the trailer being released, they showed a little bit of some neon cities, and maybe it looks like a neon battle, and it doesn't look like I was too far off with my photography, and I think that's pretty fun. So with that, I hope this helped you find some inspiration, and maybe you can find yours in new ways you've never used it before. It doesn't have to be from these things that I showed here. You can find your inspiration from where you find the most joy. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my new videos. This is something that's been a little new to me and out of my comfort zone, so I really appreciate anyone who takes the time and watches this idea that I have. I decided to change it up a little bit and no longer really focus on photography tips, and I want to just talk about more stuff that I just love because that's what makes me the most happiest. And I figured out a perfect way to do that by talking about one of my favorite franchises, and that happens to be the one I gushed about all video, the big boy himself. Obviously, you could have guessed that from the shirt. But I'm going to be doing something a little different where I'm going to still be doing photo shoots, but I'm going to be doing movie reviews on top of the photo shoots. So I'm going to do the Godzilla franchise as my starting out project because I think it's an easy one, and in the Godzilla vs. Kong anticipation, I kind of want to. So look out for, I don't know if it's going to be individual videos or videos that have a compilation of them because the amount of Godzilla movies they are, but I'm going to be doing at least one photo shoot per movie and reviewing each movie with each photo shoot. And I will record each photo shoot, show the process, but also make it a little different than we've ever seen before with this format. It's a new idea I've been playing with, and once I'm done with Godzilla, I will move on to other franchises that I love, but right now I'm going to stick with the big guy. And I think it's a fun little project, and it could be something that I've never really seen done before, so I'm gonna try it myself, shake it up a little bit. It's not going to be just reviews either. I'm going to be talking about maybe my first experience by seeing a specific movie, say Godzilla vs. Biollante like the one I just showed, or maybe it's going to be memories I have from around the time that I saw the movie. It's going to be a little different, so hopefully you check it out. I really appreciate it if you do. I really appreciate it if you share. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all the social medias that I will list off here, somewhere on this screen. And yeah, I just appreciate you checking this out because it's something I'm pretty excited about, and I don't know, maybe you learn something, maybe you find some entertainment from this, maybe you just enjoy what you see. I hope you do. Thank you for your time.
I'm dead. I can't.